Michael Kinsley is a Time magazine columnist these days who has been founding editor of Slate.com, New Republic editor-in-chief, LA Times editorial page editor, and more. The book is Creative Capitalism, A Conversation with Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, and other economic leaders. Hi, Michael. Welcome back to WNYC.
Thanks.
What does the term creative capitalism actually refer to, and where did it come from?
Well, I can tell you what it refers to, and thanks for not asking me to say what it means, because that's sort of what the book's about. Last January at Davos, this big, fancy, worldwide conference of big shots they hold every year, Bill Gates gave a very interesting speech where he said there are problems in the world that are too big even for my philanthropy, let alone other people's. And they're too big for government. And they have to be solved by capitalism, by the free market. And he said that, capitalism is very good at answering the needs of prosperous people, not so good at answering the needs of poorer people.
Uh-huh.
And so he said it needs to change, and what it should change into he called creative capitalism.
Kind of social entrepreneurship, but on a larger scale than we usually think of it?
Well, that's one definition. He didn't really define it. He wanted to start a conversation.
Which you then took the next step on by having this whole book of conversations with Warren Buffett and Larry Summers and Robert Reich and all these other economic leaders on this idea?
Sure, but except for the conversation with Warren Buffett and Bill, which was an actual conversation over lunch, which I tape recorded, these are conversations by email. It's sort of a literary experiment, among other things.
It's one of the things that I've always liked on Slate. They have their exchanges of emails between prominent thinkers who often disagree on things, and it turns into a very interesting thing to read.
Yeah, I think email is a perfect way to discuss ideas, because when it works, you get sort of the immediacy of talking along with the thoughtfulness of writing.
Though the Yankees and the Bloomberg administration may have some regrets today, referring to our previous segment. But Lawrence Summers says or writes in this book, you want creative capitalism? Try this. All Americans benefit from increases in home ownership, because of the values like hard work, community, and respect for property that ownership instills. Families want desperately to own their own homes and accumulate equity. Yet it is very hard for conventional banks that borrow money over the short term to lend over the kind of 30-year horizon that best helps families buy houses. How can the objective of home ownership best be supported, and how can the most adequate financing be assured? Voila! Creative capitalism. And, of course, he was talking about Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae, which were that hybrid that went bust.
That is very typical of Larry Summers. He is brilliant, and he is opinionated, and it's, of course, gotten him in trouble on more than one occasion. I think it's great that he's going to be part of the Obama administration.
Why? Because